Creed's 20th entry in the last few pages of this journal. After the owl folk had all flown away, Firdaus ended up reading the letter brought to him by his old friend Ivar.
Yes, the mountain, it collapsed. Firdaus, that is where we found the instructions.
The letter had stated that his old circle of druids had found instructions for creating a portal that would allegedly let them communicate with the demigod Fjall.
The things she wrote of, the bones, the ritual in the letter that you found.
Yes.
They're very dangerous and unnatural.
They will bring us closer to Fjall.
They will bring us closer to the hells.
Pulling a sleigh filled with boulders to throw, we all headed south again back towards Skazakis. Along the way, we met, well, you can probably guess who.
What is it I shall find? I was distracted by the melodious sound of your thoughts.
It is a green flower with a white stem and blue thorns.
That is like the reverse colors of a real flower, Sina.
I know, right?
It sounds incredible.
I've been looking for it forever. I just can't find it anywhere.
I will find this for you, my love. I will find it good!
It took us a couple of days' travel, but we finally reached Skazakis. Well, we were still a ways back from it, and we needed to send Pocket J Gnome in, but it would be a long walk for him, so Sina created a parachute for him, and Madge picked him up, and, well, in hindsight, it wasn't the most thought-through plan.
You can almost feel his butt clench as he flies through the air. And then he comes down. I'm gonna roll a thing for him.
Come on.
He comes down and he comes down and he comes down and disappears behind the tree line.
Okay. I don't see a parachute go.
Nope.
Oh no,
Ryan!
dude.
I did not do. Don't get mad at me. I rolled the die for him.
What did he roll?
It was the fates that decided.
Rest in peace, Pocket J Gnome, a.k.a. Slay J Gnome, a.k.a. Herbert Fartknocker. In a state of anger, Madge did indeed hurl some rocks at the castle, which quickly got the attention of the dwarves. They said the tieflings and cyclops had all left the city.
They've been going to the sage workshops. Lots of them, by the dozens, been going to the sage workshops.
So they're getting an idea of the designs because they feel like they have an advantage over us.
If they're getting in the design field, it's sure taking a long time. They must be camping out in there, because they haven't come out.
Cousin, it seems like we're dealing with a portal.
We will go now, cousin. Please go back and get our friends. I will go with these dwarves.
Yes.
Entering into the city's siege workshop, we found another one of those damned portals, and this time, we decided to make use of it.
Oh, cousin, if there's one thing you have learned about me, I am much greater at dealing than getting.
And Mads will step through the portal.
I've given up predicting what will happen next. I'm just going to try and stick around long enough to witness whatever it may be.
Time to Die Podcast Network presents The Giant's March. The road is long, but the world is small. You find yourselves in an infinite empty black space. The floor around your feet is a swirling energy of deep purple. Circled around you, there are several windows looking out into different scenes, and you would assume they're the other portals. The closer you step towards one of these portals, the more its scene appears to envelop you as the black void fades away. It's as if you're stepping into the scene itself. When you back away, the black void returns. The portals you see reveal these scenes. You see 6 portals, including the one you just stepped through, that reveal rooms that look identical in style to the lower levels beneath the castle. And you would assume probably that those are located around and below the city of Skazicus. Next to those, you see a portal looking into a dark cave-like hallway, which is braced with wooden beams. At the end of the hallway, there's a thick iron door with light shining through. Another portal reveals a large encampment in a dark swamp. The bodies of giants are strewn around the area. And the final 2 portals make no sense. In fact, the longer you attempt to comprehend the shapes and the foreign colors in these 2 portals, you notice your awareness of the space around you begins to fade and your vision begins to tunnel until you pull your attention off of the portals and snap out of it. What do you guys want to do?
One of them is a tiny humanoid person's wedding, and there's some people in there from the 1950s. Hey, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Oh, how
I'm
nice.
sorry, wrong view. Alright, so what actually happened now?
What? Chris, you just Brian'd the fuck out of Brian, and I'm here for it.
What's great is there's probably only going to be one person that ever listens to both of the things and gets that connection. And like...
And it will be Mango.
Or Sean. Hi, Sean.
Hi, Sean.
Hi, Sean.
Are you serious?
What?
You want me to recap?
I totally spaced out after the whole time you were describing this world of like the different places in the ether and all that, my mind was like, okay, I need to tie this in with the other thing, and like I don't know what to do.
Anyway, you see 6 portals look like they're under Skazicus. You also see a portal that looks like a cave-like hallway that's braced with wooden beams, and there's a thick iron door with light shining through at the end of the tunnel.
I go in that one.
No, you don't. Not yet. This is important. You see another portal that reveals a large encampment in a dark swamp with bodies of giants strewn about. And then the last 2 you see make no sense. They're hard to focus on, and they kind of screw with your brain.
So do we all see each other in here, and we all have to choose, or am I just in here alone?
You guys are together.
Okay. And you said that, okay, so there was one with a swamp with a bunch of dead giants?
Yeah.
So I'm immediately gonna, grab the arm of Mads, and, against his wishes multiple times in this campaign, but, point towards that one, and, I'm at a loss for words. I don't say anything, I just point and...
Oh my god.
It's the Därligskeg, where I'm from, my circle.
Oh no.
I make a beeline towards going through that.
The closer you walk towards this portal, the more the blackness fades around you, and this scene in the portal begins to envelop you, and you seem more and more like you are in this encampment.
Did Ivar follow us in too, or no?
Everybody's with you.
Yeah, I just kind of glance back at him and just look at him, and then look to the ground and turn back around and continue on.
He follows close behind you, almost like a little kid and their parent is going to check the closet for monsters. And what are the others of you doing? Just tagging behind?
Yep.
Yeah.
Following Feardos to make sure he doesn't do dumb shit.
By the time you have reached the center of this window into the world, all the blackness around you is gone, and you find yourself stepping out of this whalebone-looking portal, and you are now hearing the sounds of the swamp insects and the cold breeze, and there's just a stillness around your feet as the bodies lay here.
How many bodies?
A lot. A circle's worth, to be frank.
Okay. I'm going to first. He runs to the tallest one that has like a sort of gray leather kind of adornment sort of thing. It's probably stitched together of many sort of like swamp wolves. And that would be the body of Rig. I flip the body over. Is there any signs of them like just being unconscious and not dead?
Best you can tell, he's dead. And the presence beside you, you look at Ivar and his face is just white.
Quick, check the others. And I start running from body to body.
He's gonna blindly and almost mindlessly obey your orders.
Where's Una? Do I see any of the bodies with like a rock feather headdress on?
Yeah, it's a ways outside the central encampment, but you see her on one of the paths leading out.
I'm going to rush off and try to go to Una.
You reach her, and you don't even have to perform a medicine check. You can see that a whole half of her torso has been crushed. And there is a giant footprint in the mud it's strangely shaped. It's almost like several bodies were stepped on and squashed into the mud and then raised out of it.
I look over at Mads after I see this.
Do you have any idea what could have done this? I'm thinking it's a corpse dragon.
I kind of nod. And then I look over at Sina.
That's what it seems like to me.
Are there more giant tracks that we can follow?
The one that crushed her, you see another one further down the path, and then another one still, and it looks like they're heading towards the general direction of Obregard.
Obregard is where we started, correct?
Correct. That's the census place.
We should pick up our pace and follow these tracks as quick as possible. If this is in Obregard, it could be very bad.
I agree.
If a corpse dragon tries to take any cave on my mountain...
And he just looks very concerned. I'm rushing off at a quick pace.
I would say you're not going to make it to Obregard. You're going to make it to this first city. That's where their general direction's headed. I have not named it. I'm going to name it,
Oberstan.
Oberstan. Give me a intelligence check with advantage, Firdaus.
Advantage. Which type of intelligence check?
Straight
Like
intelligence.
history or straight intelligence? Okay, so that'd be a 15.
You remember from the letter you got from your lady that when she said the date, you need to be there by the date because we're going to enact this circle.
Mm-hmm.
That had been 3 days ago from when you received the letter, and then it took you some time to get down. So they're probably at least like a week ahead of you.
Oh,
assuming that they just took off. You guys press on at full speed, and the night falls, the day rises, you keep pressing on, and another night falls. And you're following, it comes and goes depending on the density of the ground, but it's almost like you're following a whole troop. And there's times where some of them split off and others continue on, but you can definitely tell where the main pack went. Is there anything you need to declare that you do before just powering your way to the city?
Not for me. I'm gonna keep my spells intact.
Same.
I'm good.
Oh, there is one thing that I might have done, if you'll let me retroactively do it. Might have grabbed one of the spears from the Fallen.
Okay.
Like, perhaps even the one from Reg's body. Since I buried my last one. Sorry,
Right.
Sina.
Yeah, the sick magic one that I gave you? Yeah, I know you buried it.
Okay. Firdos has a regular ass boring spear.
The Spear of Ass Boring.
Gross. It takes a few days, and then you see the lights of the city up ahead, and as you start to descend this hill, you feel like you could, if you press on, you could be there by sunrise.
Yeah, let's do it.
Charging on through the night. You guys enter the city of Obrastan. It's similar to yours. It has better roads, better walkways. It's more of a coastal city, and so you kind of are aware that it has generally a better economy and more resources, and the buildings are a little bit more expansive and ornate, and there's no signs of warfare. There's no signs of panic or destruction or anything.
What do we do now?
I don't know. There's no signs of anything here.
First, we should destroy the portal. I found normally when I try and do that, corpse dragons show up.
We should at least try to find somebody here. See what they can tell us.
There's people wandering about. There's it's just normal citizen activity. Carts being drawn, people running markets.
Should we go to the... what was it? The town hall?
I think we should go to the town hall anyway and see if they have any news from Overgard, if they've heard anything. If all else fails, then we need to travel to Overgard and tell them what we know. Which admittedly at this point isn't much, but is something nonetheless.
You guys start making your way towards this center of this city, and you can kind of navigate by the road signs and kind of tell where the main buildings are in the city, the key places. And when you arrive, the town hall is larger than in Obregard, and again, it's more ornate, as with everything here. And as you pass on through the doors, suddenly you do see signs of tieflings. There's a couple over in the corner, and when they see you, they hastily make an exit. And then there's another over talking to one of the giants at the end, and nobody seems to bat an eye at their presence.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
What do you believe we should do next?
I don't know.
Cousin, I am an arrow. Without knocking me and firing me, I have no purpose. I do not make decisions. I am the result of other decisions. You must figure this out if I am to help.
Roll a perception for me, everybody.
Ooh. Picking up our dice early in the night. 3.
Natural fucking 20.
15 for me.
Mads, Firdos, it could be the fact that you are not dressed for these northern climates. But everyone and all the giants in this foyer are looking at you funny. I mean, they're all looking at you. Almost like they're anticipating something, or waiting to see what's going to happen.
Why are you all staring at us like that?
You see the tiefling say something to the giant at the end, and then he makes his exit. And then pretty soon, the doors open again of the entry to this town hall. These are two large giants that enter, and they are wearing all the same color clothing, which is a little odd. And they're carrying weapons.
Feardos, go and get that tiefling. I will handle these.
Will do. And I bolt off after the tiefling.
And I would like to rage.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely not waiting for them to attack first. That's a fact.
Feardos disappears down the direction where the tiefling exited the door, and Mads goes into rage mode. What does Mads do?
I will go into rage mode and immediately pull out my glaive and charge at these three.
They're going to brace themselves for impact, essentially. Give me your attack.
Okay.
Are you going to try and attack both of them? Do a left one, do a right one?
I'm going to do one attack on the middle one and then one attack on the right guy.
There's technically only two, so it's left or right.
Oh, okay, so then one attack on each. 8 plus 10 is 18 on the first one.
Okay.
And the second one is a 23.
The second one hits.
Okay. And I will throw a smite onto that guy, so it's going to be 19 slashing, 11 radiant.
They're wearing a thin layer of armor, and so you slash right through it, and you can see the blood seeping out the inside, and he looks at you with very, very wide eyes, and then the other one responds with an attack of his own, but it's almost a frightened attack. I'm going to give him a disadvantage. The best that he could do was a 15.
Yeah, not even close.
And you easily dodge out of his thing because he just gave it away with a seriously bad poker tell. And then all that is happening as Feardos, you burst through the door and you see this tiefling at the end of the hall running into what is clearly the governor's kind of the conference room.
Yeah, I'll definitely run in there and try to grab him.
You throw open the door and there's a meeting around the table.
All giants or mix or what?
Mix.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna continue interrupting this this meeting and grab hold of the tiefling that was running in there.
Do you pick him up?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick him up.
his little feet dangle. You're kicking and trying to almost like run in place.
I want you to explain what is going on here.
As soon as you say that, you look over and you notice, you see in one of the seats at the table is this messenger of Fjall guy that you've been dealing with, and he's looking directly into your eyes, and he gives you kind of a sly smile. And then he says,
As you can see, gentlemen, they are no longer working for the giants. They've been corrupted.
You... Before he even speaks again, I'm gonna take the tiefling that I have in my hand and throw it right at that guy.
give me an attack.
Alright. 18 plus a whole lot of strength.
This tiefling flies across the table like when people slide cowboys across the bar during a bar fight in the saloon. He knocks over several of the goblets, spilling them into the other's laps, and this visage of the messenger flickers away for just a moment as the tiefling flies off the end of the table, and then it flickers back, and he smiles at you again, and then you hear the governor say,
What is the meaning of this? You're the one that we sent out south to go on this mission.
Yes, I've discovered that there's a lot more going on. You were all under a spell, and I plan to see an end to it.
We have all discovered there's a lot more going on.
He slides across the table a small assemblage of what to the tieflings are about poster size, but to the giants are about Polaroid photo size pictures. and they swish across the table, and then they're kind of shuffled in an assembly line by the other giants until they get to the end of the table on your side, and he nods towards them for you to look.
I'm gonna look down at it.
You see 5 photographs, just like the ones from the magical cameras that you were afraid were stealing your soul. The odd thing about them is you've seen some of these before, but in real life, through your own eyes. But they're distorted, kind of cloudy around the edges. One is a vision of Mads when he's attacking the cat centaur with a javelin. It's like a memory. It's like you saw from your perspective as he threw the javelin. There's another one of Mads fighting this cyclops. You remember that this was the ring in the watchtower. It was the fighting ring, but it's hard to tell. You can't see the crowd around it. You're just looking up as you remember your state of hallucinating. But you can see him clearly as he's throwing a punch into this cyclops. There's another one of your eyes. You're killing the monstrosity of a giant down inside the monastery. Then there's one that's not from your eyes, but you see yourself. You see your body. It's almost like a 2-frame picture as you turn into a squirrel, and then this party of tieflings being spiked with rocks. And then there's a shot of you robbing the leader of his map from his bag. And the final photo is through Ivar's eyes. You see the owl folk's magical arrow pointing towards him, and you see blood on Ivar's hands as the arrow is sticking out of his chest. And then you hear the voice of the messenger say,
Ever since you sent them down south to make peace with us, they've done nothing but wrought chaos and violence. Is this how you intend to make peace?
and the governor is just staring at you like, what the fuck?
These pictures are only but a small view of what has gone on. It is being manipulated. You are all being fooled, and I'm gonna grab the table and just throw it over. 15 plus a lot.
The table flips up into the air and all the drinks go flying, and it's actually heading towards the governor, and one of his assistants try to pull him out of his chair as the table crashes to the floor. They all scoot back their chairs in astonishment, and then at that great clattering noise, some more guards burst through the door. In this time, we're going to cut back to Mads. What has been going on? This guard just attacked you and you easily stepped out of his way.
I think that the one that just attacked me, I'm going to take the glaive and just shove it right into his chest, and while the other one tries to do something, pull the javelin out from behind my back, spin it around a few times, and then just turn and with the back, like a backspin, drive the javelin as far into his face as I possibly can, and just leave both of them drop, grab my glaive up, spin it a few times, wipe it off, and put it back.
It's so painfully obvious that these guards were recruited from citizens. At best, maybe they found a blacksmith, but Mads tears into them like an animal, and they are helpless.
I then sprint across the room and head towards the door and burst through it. Mads is still pissed, and he's not fully in control at this point, and so anything that I need to break in order to get through the fucking door, I will.
Conference room door?
Yep.
You burst through, and you see 2 more guards standing before you, and they're just about to grab Firdas. The table's flipped over. There's liquid from drinks and food just all over the place, and everyone is astonished.
One of the guards that's trying to grab Firdas, I would like to javelin him.
Give me an attack.
All right. I'm going to John Wick my way through this fucking place. That's a 26.
You John Wick the first guy. How do you describe it?
Wow.
He's about Cena's size.
Oh!
I think that, like, right as his hand is about to get onto Firdas, my javelin pierces right through his temple. And for like a split second, you can see like the shock on his face before finally he just starts to crumble to the ground. And Mads is like spitting and foaming at the mouth, like his eyes are wild and crazy, way crazier than usual.
This is the point where everyone in the conference room leaps to their feet, and they're all going to try to go out the various exits in a panic. Most of them are old, portly men. The tieflings are trying to scramble down off of their sort of booster seats, essentially, and they are going to be slower progress getting out of here.
Those are the ones that I'm aiming for then. Because remember, my glaive has 10 feet of reach, which as a giant is probably more than that. So I'm just going to start swinging it at tieflings.
Give me an attack, but it's not to determine if you hit, it's determined on how severely you hit and how many.
Holy shit. 12 plus 10, 22?
Your glaive swipes across the floor, and you see several of these tieflings split in half like Darth Maul, and their bodies just crumple. And then more guards burst through the door. It's now a mixture of giants with cyclops. There's about 5 of them.
Mads is going to give them a second to take stock of the situation, and then he's just going to roar at them to see what they do.
They flinch. And then 2 of the cyclops charge in.
Can Cena cast web on the Cyclops?
Mm-hmm. What's that do?
So there are... Not at the Cyclops, because she knows Mads can handle those. So she's going to cast it at the exit that the giants are heading out of.
How far is your reach?
I think 20 feet. Or... 60 feet. Sorry. I forgot how to read spell stats for a second.
You're going to have to move quite a ways. You're going to have to go almost your full movement and then cast it in front of the door.
Okay.
And so you are over off to the left side of this long conference room, and the door is blocked on that side.
Yep.
Do you need to let me know anything about this web, or is it just going to block it?
They are difficult terrain. They have a depth of 5 feet. Oh wait, or if when they enter them, they have to make a dexterity save, and if they fail it, it's restrained.
Gotcha. Firdas? Mads is being Mads. What do you want to do?
So there's another one of the big guys coming in here to fight us too?
You now have 3 more behind you. Not behind you, but like at the entrance.
I am going to make an attack against the middle one. Yeah, and I'm going to lunge forward with my spear. My ass-boring spear. That is an 18 plus 11.
That's enough. Give me the damage.
Alright. This is where it's going to be not that much. Alright, that's 6 plus 8. So what is that, 14?
Your spear pierces right through his shoddily made armor, and you kind of knock him back against the door. And he looks down, and then he looks at you with wide eyes like people that have gone to war, but they've never experienced war. It's almost this sort of shell shock of like, did I just get stabbed? I've never been stabbed before. And then the other 2 guards are going to try and grab you. 24?
Yeah, that's definitely going to grab me. By the way, when I stab the one and I see that look in his eye, I say, may Mord welcome you into his kingdom.
He slumps to the floor with this long thing sticking out. Are you going to try and pull it?
Yes.
And then they grab you, and at the moment you're incapacitated.
Alright.
Mads?
Are there 2 grabbing onto Firdas?
1 on each side.
Alright, glaive on 27 to hit the first one?
Yep.
Okay, that will be... I'll throw a smite on top as well, so that will be... we've got 20 slashing and 4 radiant damage on the one. And the other one, well, 29 to hit. I'm assuming that probably hits the other one too, right?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. And that will be 17 slashing, and I won't do a smite on that one.
The first one is enough to cleave a limb. What would you like to declare?
One of the arms that's hanging on to Feardus.
It's gone. It's still hanging on, but it's not attached to him anymore. And he immediately falls backwards against this massive doorway and then slumps to the floor like his friend. And then the other one you just bludgeon with your staff, and he crumbles. He's not dead, but he's clearly knocked out. What do you guys want to do? This room, nobody else is contesting you at this point. Most of them have run away. The other guards, if there even were any, they would have been no match for you, so they're going to start making their exit.
Mads is just looking for somebody that wants a fight, and again, just continuing to foam at the mouth and be wild-eyed.
The closest you can come is the tieflings that Cena blocked from their exit. They're making their way to the back of the room.
I am going at them, but not with a weapon. I'm doing this with my bare hands, and I would like to grab the closest tiefling that I can.
It's no problem for you to catch up to him.
Okay, then my athletics to grab him is 18.
Yes.
Can I do the king shark thing where I grab him on either side of his torso and try and rip him in half?
Oh my god. Yeah. All friends.
You hear him say, "Y'all, you have abandoned," as his top separates from his bottom.
Fuck.
Firdas, a vision of this Fjall character appears before you in a flicker, and he smiles again, and he says,
You've sealed your own fate. I warned you about this.
I look over at Mads and look around the room at all the chaos.
We will seal yours too.
And I'm gonna throw my spear at him.
it passes through him as he flickers away, and it lodges itself inside the wall.
Both of you explain to me what just happened.
Please. I'm gonna try to find the things on the floor, the posters that were the pictures.
They're there.
The one who's been speaking to me. It turned out to be Fjall. The one who's controlling all this. He's framing us. He's putting the war on us.
Of course he is.
The one thing I still don't understand. Where is that thing that killed the circle? We tracked it here. There's no sign of it. I'm gonna cast Detect Magic.
What's your range?
It's 30 feet.
Short of your companions, you're not picking anything up.
I just start looking around. I pick those posters up off the floor and hand them to Cena, and I'm going to start leaving the room and just looking around everywhere to see if I pick up on anything.
Again, to your size, they're just Polaroid photos, so you can easily pocket them, Cena.
Yeah, that's exactly what she's going to do.
It's just a clutter. There's just toppled chairs and tables and goblets.
Do I start to pick up anything as I look through the town hall or whatever?
Give me survival. Give me survival.
That's a 19 on the die, and a +7.
You're walking by the governor's private quarters. I don't know whether you would know it's the governor's private quarters. I don't think it would be labeled. But it's a door. And you catch a whiff of necrotic magic inside.
Yeah, I'm going to bust down that door. And I'm guessing that they would probably hear a door being kicked in from where they are.
I mean, there's nobody around at this point. Everybody's kind of fled the chaos.
Oh, I think he meant us, because if I hear a door getting kicked down, Mads is making his appearance as quickly as possible.
It sounds like it's in another part of the building, but Mads, you catch a rumble of splintering wood.
I'm going to signal to Cena and start running towards it.
When you guys get back out of the hallway and into this main foyer, you see your other mates, like Bogdana and them, and they're just kind of standing around waiting for orders because you guys just took off without them, so they're a little bit at a loss.
Are you guys okay?
She nods. And they're going to follow you, and Mads, you follow the sound from whence it came, and down at the end you see Firdas entering into the governor's headquarters. Firdas, there's a bed, there's a nightstand, there's a little table, there's kind of a workspace, but it's hard to tell what other furniture is in this room because the rest of it is just piles of corpses.
Do they look like freshly killed, or like they possibly were corpses of the things that made up that big monster that we chased here?
There's dwarves, there's tieflings, there's gnomes, there's all manner of corpses.
Cousin, it's just like the other places.
It is not often that I am completely justified after horrible actions, but today is one of those days.
You're exactly right.
Is there any sort of a portal or anything like that in this room, or anything, like our telltale signs that we've been finding recently, or no?
It looks like this shit's just been stashed here.
I don't recognize any of these bodies, but something strange is going on here. Why would they be here? Why would the town be behaving like they are?
Firdas, if this thing has been able to contact us, assuredly it is able to contact others, and I would not be surprised if I found out that the majority of our friends and colleagues and kin, well, that they do not have the same faith that you and I and Cena might have. And so perhaps they would take what was a test and believe that it is genuine. And do not worry, I will take them to meet the mountain just the same.
Thank you, cousin.
Mads will nod solemnly.
What is this building made out of?
Stone.
Okay, so burning it down isn't going to work.
It's got wooden beams, but the bulk of it is stone.
Cena, what should we do?
I don't know. The people we were supposed to tell are... They think we betrayed them.
So you believe that word has gotten to Obergard already?
If not, then we have to try to beat it there.
I do not believe that going to Obergard will be good for any of us.
What do you suggest?
I think there is only one option. We return to the portals, we go through more, and we continue to throw wrenches into their plans.
I think I agree with this plan.
Do we have any sort of way that... Perhaps a explosive of some sort that we could place at the base of the portal, go through it, and it would destroy it upon our exit?
Well, not yet we don't have any explosives. But that is something that can be easily remedied.
Good to know, cousin. We should hurry. I do not believe that it will be long before they figure out that more guards, better trained guards, will be needed here.
Yes.
Firdas, I am so sorry. I should have done something. I don't know what I could have done.
You did. You got out of there. Or else you would have been on the ground there too.
You were right about everything.
We cannot dwell on such thoughts.
You are all I have left. I have to go with you.
We have to go quickly.
Are you guys going to beeline for the portal?
I would think so.
That's my intention.
Yeah.
Unless they tell me, well, I want something different.
You guys leave the town of Obrastan and start making your way back along the trail towards the portal in the east. Time to Die Podcast Network. You know the drill. If you're enjoying the show, we would be honored to have your support. Patreon.com/TimeToDieRPG for pledging monthly. ko-fi.com/TimeToDieRPG for giving us one-time payments as a gift. SoNerdware.com/TimeToDie using Time to Die at the checkout for 10% off your entire purchase to support us with our merchandise. We're on Twitter and Instagram at TimeToDieRPG. Tim Demuse, who plays Mads, is on Twitter at IdaGrabYourGun. Chris Riley is a douchebag. Aubrey Gray, who plays Cena, is on Twitter at AubreyGray1. That's AubreeGray and the number 1. I, Brian Bridges, the GM of this campaign, am on Twitter at ManlyBrian. You can also come hang out with us in our Discord server. Links are in the episode description, or you can find all of these and all of our content at TimeToDieRPG.com. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.